knowing that there's been quite a few invites that have been sent out, I might need to actually just start with the Vara one-page overview so that we can then give context to what it is that we're bringing to the fore from a tokenomic standpoint. So I am going to start just with our overall Vara one-pager, and then I will lead into the tokenomics themselves, if that is fine with everyone. So without further ado, welcome. My name is Nick van den Berg. I'm the CMO of Vara. Today's presentation is really centered around the whole Vara value proposition from an entire economic standpoint, as well as then giving you a view of the tokenomic lay of the land regarding the Vara token. A number of you have been fortunate enough to participate within the founder purchase through the founders pack allocation, and that has facilitated you to be able to then download and install either on iOS, Android, Huawei App Store, the new Vara native application that then is a reflection on what your back office has in the way of your Vara in-game token allocation, as well as then the various digital cosmetic items that you have purchased along with your access pack purchase and your sales within the Vara ecosystem. So without further ado, I'm just going to share my screen and take you through for the first 10-15 minutes the entire ecosystem. For those of you that are new, this will start to make some sense. And then for those of you who've been with us now from the very beginning, going on to almost a year, which is just quite an incredible journey. Thank you so much for that. And it is all really starting with the ability for yourselves through the Vara ecosystem to now have for the first time a true Web5 experience. And this is around us allowing for connecting and engaging with global consumers across a varied product suite, from e-commerce to product to our marketplace, and all due to the innovation that the Dark Fusion company has made over the last couple of months, which is really leveraging now the power of the Layer 2 Lightning Network, all powered through Dark Fusion. So Vara is the central point for that innovation. It is the business case for that innovation, and it's obviously unlocked through the Ambassador Portal. At the core of this technology really is centered in two components that Dark Fusion is bringing to the fore. Our shared wallet experience, and that is now available to the founders in alpha state on the iOS and Android environments, as well as then a curated DEX experience, which will then allow for you to be able to trade and sell your various digital cosmetic items. Further to that, as sure as you've seen now in a number of our showcases that we've put to the fore, we have the ability to now offer, which is really exciting news, come the 16th of October, the launch of the Battle Royale Star Vara first mobile experience, MMO mobile experience. And that is really kickstarting our product layer in that we're now offering a product layer within a play to earn rewards within that gaming ecosystem, as well as then positioning what we've been saying all along, and true to our word on that, the unlocking of a stake in reward product set, that is tied to the game economy. And that's going to obviously open up the discussion for the tokenomics in a few minutes' time. And then very proudly to then say that there will be a number of software as a service, fintech products that we will be then curating in this Vara ecosystem. So really a comprehensive offering now that has now come to the fore under the Vara ecosystem network. This means that we are then bringing in not only gamers into the play-to-earn reward component of the Battle Royale, but well as yourselves as ambassadors, entrepreneurs that see the opportunity of the tokenomic plan and what that would mean for a potential future earning opportunity. Where do we position ourselves now? And I think this is just to distill what's been happening from a showcase perspective. There's been a number of showcases that have spoken to, the innovation around dark fusion technologies. Dom and Greg have unpacked what that roadmap looks like insofar as the innovation that's been achieved, the first of its kind transfer of USDT on the Bitcoin blockchain network, which took place a few weeks ago, as well as then obviously the minting of our own Vara token within that ecosystem. And this is really unpacking what Vara now brings to the consumer landscape, which is really bringing together the economic might of Bitcoin and countless users, unlocking this value through various products and services, which I've just now unpacked: subscriptions, de-applications, centralized applications, and other opportunities. And this is really utilizing the granddaddy of the blockchain ecosystem, the Bitcoin blockchain. And that is really facilitating our ability to be able to create what essentially is an income flow event, centered around subscription, centered around our content access packs, and then through the various entry mechanisms of the product purchases that we made available, all centralized into Vara. We then have the interoperable wallet, which, as I said to you, a number of the founders have had fortunate opportunity to be able to interact with over the last few weeks. That will be then opened up to the wider network and then to the open marketplace. So here we get to what then is this utility, being the Vara token, and I'm going to unpack that now for you in 2 seconds. So it really is then centered around the token economy and the value that token economy is bringing. It's a utility token, so just want to make clear, it's the native token to the Vara ecosystem. The primary goal of this token is to secure the transactional services within this overall ecosystem, and it's an exchange where tokens can be freely traded within the value driven by the supply and demand thereof. The earning potential, which is centered around on-platform activities, and then based on the tokenomics, which I'm going to go into now in more detail, it is centered around a buyback burn governed by the overall tokenomics, and then it's around the seamless utilization of the Vara token across this entire ecosystem. So what does that mean? So let's just step back now from an overall tokenomics point of view. As I mentioned, the Vara token itself has been minted. There's the blockchain explorer that is available for you within the Vara.gg platform that you can click on the bottom, and it will take you directly to the explorer. So if you want to go and see the validation of the billion Vara tokens that have been minted, there's that validation for you. The primary goal is to then obviously provide a vehicle for secure transactional services within the Vara platform, and then the value is driven and underpinned via on-platform activities, underlying obviously earning potential from these platform activities, and then, as I'll go into now, showcase how that buyback and burn ecosystem works. And then further to that, this then just gives you an overview of the token topology. It is obviously showcasing the inflow event through the various subscriptions that we're going to make available within the platform. Obviously, at this point in time, it's centered around our access pack access. So whether that is the Moon, Planet, Solar System pack, purchase within those packs at this point in time is an allocation of the Vara token, and then various other means of then bringing in earnings into this ecosystem. What we then have is the ability for there to be an opportunity whereby here we now have obviously our token name, it's Vara. There is the ticker allocation, as well as obviously the type. We're utilizing the Bitcoin blockchain via the Lightning Network. We have then a max supply of 1 billion Vara tokens. And then there is initial circling supply of 250 million tokens. Just get to know a few of the terminology that we have been using in the marketplace. I'm sure you guys are well versed in this. The Lightning Network is the second layer for the Bitcoin blockchain, which uses then micropayment channels to scale the blockchain's capability and handle transactions more efficiently and more cheaply. It is a technology that Dark Fusion now has empowered through simple contract language, which is then facilitating this ability for us to be able to have minted our Vara token on the Bitcoin blockchain. It is a significant breakthrough in the application and token development on the Bitcoin blockchain network, and we're certainly purporting to be the first to utilize this technology, and it's all developed by our Dark Fusion partnership. Just to unpack what simple contract language is for a number of you that are well versed within the space, is a technology that leverages UTXOs as a single-use cryptographic seal. It allows contracts with updatable states and assets that are bound to these UTXOs, which then allows for us to be able to send to the Lightning Network channel and transferred by HLC routing. This is then facilitated the ability for this to be a new token standard where we're able to mint transfer tokens on any UTXO blockchain. Further to that, the outcome of this is also allowing for us to be able to offer true NFT support capabilities by embedding all the byte data into the UTXO. So what does that mean? That means that we're now able to provide this token utility into the Vara ecosystem. Through that, you're now able to acquire the Vara tokens through a number of means. Through the direct issue from our service providers, through the direct sale platform, where we're then offering this as part and parcel of the access once-off purchase bundles, then through secondary markets on the Vara platform exchange, where you're able to then utilize fiat currency and or supported crypto to purchase from other holders within the curated DEX as and when that comes out on our roadmap. Further to that, we're in the process of looking at integrating into a various number of centralized exchange platforms, as well then available within the Vara decentralized platform, which will be announced shortly. How you're earning these tokens through the reward components within the ecosystem. These might include, achievements within the Battle Royale, Star Vara Battle Royale that's launching on the 16th of October. So very near in, where you're going to be able to play within the Battle Royale environment. You're going to earn this as a reward within that ecosystem. And then further, the ability to be able to unlock a number of Vara tokens just through time within the Vara ecosystem as rewards, as we're currently doing through the challenge rewards and through the giveaway section that we currently have up and running. What it will then do, it will then also facilitate the utility. And as I've already mentioned, this utility of the token is utilized in four primary ways: to pay for a variety of services and products within the Vara ecosystem, utilize the payment of these services and products within the Star Vara MMORPG game environment. This is also quite near in, where you're going to be able to log into the back office and you're going to be able to then utilize your Vara native application and make purchases from within the store environment from the back office, and then obviously trade, convert back into fiat currency or supported crypto via the decentralized exchange. It is then also a way for individuals to be able to earn through the staking reward mechanism with the token itself. So a lot of exciting developments that are going to take place within the coming weeks and months. For us, it then goes down into how does this token allocation work? What is the schedule? What is the vesting on this? And first and foremost, I can say that you can see here, typically we've allocated 10% of the allocation to marketing, another 10% to the Vara team advisors, the Vara platform itself. So the actual ambassador platform, we've allocated the lion's share of this allocation of 40%, partnerships 5%, and then looking at the Fusion 1 liquidity on the matching to DFT and also to other tokens within that ecosystem of 20%. And then the native application, as we're currently in that phase at the moment, there's an allocation of 15%. Here you're having the ability to just look at what that means from not only a percentage, but then what that actual token allocation amount is. And then just a note that there is various vesting issuance schedules against each of these allocations. So let's just take an example of the Vara app allocation of 150 million tokens, which is representing 50% of the total available. And that is unlocked over 5 years, pre-issued. Allocation issues then based on the sell and services of the platform and the various mobile applications that we bring into the fore. So when you get access to this documentation, if you haven't seen it already, this will then just give you the overview of all of the various vesting elements, as well as the actual total number that's been allocated to the various line items in the vesting and issuance. What we then have also done here is that we've provided you with the ability to get a handle on each of the components and what it is actually going to represent in terms of that allocation. So for instance, on the platform side of things, 40% of the Vara reserved for on-platform utilization with content service products and within the gaming ecosystem. This has also been and will be issued. And allocation depends on the scope and nature of our product and service and their requirement for that issuance. So here you're able to then unpack the various use cases, the partnerships that we're proposing. And then finally, quite a key component to the tokenomics is centered around what we've been referring to the earning pools based on the game economy, based on our subscription solution within the game economy. What we then have done is we've allocated a percentage of the revenue from the game economy, and that is then allowing for the facilitation of individuals that are access key holders to be able to unlock that reward through the staking mechanism of their Vara tokens against their access keys. And I know a number of individuals potentially also on this call have been asking, well, actually, Nick, how does the staking rewards work? What is the component thereof? How am I able to do so? Well, it is really straightforward in nature. You're going to be able to, through the native application, have the ability to be able to unlock the staking rewards mechanism through the access keys that you have already purchased within the back office environment. That is reflective then in the Vara wallet. You're then able to allocate a number of your Vara tokens to the staking rewards earning pool, for which then you will be rewarded through the game economy. As stated all along, through the subscription sales within the game economy, we've allocated 30% return, 30% allocation to the pools, for which is then unlocked through the staking reward mechanism through your access keys. Here is a visualization of that and how that then takes place. Just touching on these subscriptions, purported to have 4 subscription plans, and these have been created, which will then facilitate that ability to allocate that 30% to the pools. Once then each of these subscription plans are being made available, we are then allocating that $2 into the pool staking rewards, which is then visualized in that earlier diagram. This is then allocated to the access key holders as they're staking their Vara token against those access keys. Further to that, there is only, just to cover this component, there's only 25,000 access keys that have been minted. And obviously a number of these have been issued to the founders in the pre-sold premium pack allocation. So if those of you that have acquired the founders pack status as well as in the founder's allocation, you now have access to those 2 access keys that were part and parcel of that pack allocation. How does the buyback and burn work? The Vara token values are underpinned by a consistent allocation of funds to repurchase Vara tokens on the open market, and approximately 15% of all platform revenues will be utilized for this purpose. The aim of this is then to create a deflationary supply over time from the 1 billion circa to then burn down to the million. And that will then allow for us to be able to showcase, which we are now, obviously disclaimers pending, that we have a deflationary supply over time, which then has an inflationary price pressure on the price of the Vara token and its value. So that is the high level, and what I wanted to do is then just move into the chat, if I may, and I'll just quickly just stop my screen share, open up the chat, and then just run through any questions that you may have at that level. If you haven't yet received the tokenomics and or the documentation that I've just referred to in this presentation, I do encourage you to then go into the back office, and it's under the business tools section. It's been made available there to you, as well as then within the hub itself, within the social channels, as well as then on the other groups. And if you don't have it, Brandon, I'm sure the teams can then reach out through those channels, and we will then send that documentation. But it is available within the back office, and that will then give you the ability to study further the various items within the tokenomics, and then obviously match that back to the one-pager of the entire Vara ecosystem, for which then you're able to view that utility that that token will have in this ecosystem. So I'm just going to quickly have a look here. In fact, this is okay. If anyone wants to write some questions relating to what I've just unpacked for everybody, please do so, and I can spend the next 10-15 minutes just answering any direct questions. I'm looking here that everyone just seems to have been very, very excited by typing into the chat, but I am now obviously available. This was the whole nature of this call. Take everyone through the one-page document and then unpack that on that score. Staking reward pool, when are these rewards paid out? Weekly, monthly, or yearly? So based on the current access key staking component, there would be that you would be rewarded based on your equitable share on a monthly basis. So you would then return a return based on the total number of subscriptions, the allocated 30% to the pool, as well as then what your staking amount was of your Vara tokens against the number of the access keys that you had. So that will then be made available to you. Further to that, what staking periods will there be? Yes, there will be then various lockup periods based on your staking allocation, for which then you'll be allocated up to 30% return based on the period of staking, as well as the number of access keys that you have staked against. So I'm just looking here. Brandon, do you want to ask me some questions? I see that there's it's all centered around, obviously the staking mechanism to earn via the game economy, which is obviously been made available in previous documentation. The simplistic nature of that is utilizing your access keys. Staking against those access keys gives you a proportionate share of the revenue that we've allocated from the gaming subscription economy. So, that is the process, and that is what the potential earning ability will then look like based on your total allocation of staking against access keys.
Well, before I even ask you as well, this is the time, guys. You got the CMO right here. So what happens is we end here, and then everybody sends me questions.
I know. Then they all go to Brandon, and they all go to Peter, and everyone else. So I'm here, guys. So
you guys have an opportunity right now. I will ask this real quick because I've been getting this one a whole lot from, and we don't have the founders pack going on, and we want people to understand the importance of getting their hands on as many keys as possible. In another way, could you share as much as you're able to, again, is what are the many ways that people can earn from getting that access key outside of just the paying the getting $2 per bond that's being bought?
just rephrase that if you just like. So I mean, if you'd like, is that the overall ecosystem you'd like me to?
Yeah, the overall. So somebody has an access key. We already know that $2 out of every bond sale is going to go to the access key holders. What other benefits that are other ways of income coming in for those access key holders outside of just that?
At this point in time, Brandon, that is the core value proposition. There will be additional returns that will then take place on the basis of us adding to that pool reward, not only from the game economy. So just to highlight that, I think from our perspective, it's all about inclusion, and this is centered in the ability in the short term, obviously, via the subscription gaming revenue. And as we're building out this ecosystem, the access key holders will then be able to then unlock the additional revenue that we're allocated to the pools from the overall Vara ecosystem. So that is why, purported 25,000 access key keys available, and they have obviously been supplied as part and parcel of the founders pack allocation, for which then that creates obviously a limited supply. But just know this, as we're adding more revenue opportunities as a whole within this ecosystem, we're allocating those funds into the pool rewards only that can be accessed via the access key staking mechanism.
Fantastic. Another one real quick is our early founders. They're always asking me about this question about when we have the opportunity to actually get a share as well. When will that be able to be discussed to all those early founders about what that share actually means and how it's going to be rolled out?
I think great question. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, because that question has been actually asked a hell of a lot. And I think it is a question that is addressable quite quickly, in that allocation is in the process of being finalized, so that individuals will then be communicated as such based on the original founder packs. And that is going to happen imminently now. And what I'll do, Brandon, after this, I'll make sure that Shanae sends out that communication to the wider group.
Okay. And then we got Stu that's asking about how do we acquire our DFTs, staking loot boxes, and how many founders packs are left?
So insofar as, thanks for that, Stu. Insofar as the DFT component is concerned, that is a discussion for an announcement for the 16th of October. I do need to say that because it is tied to a lot of what we're communicating come the next showcase. Those links have been sent out to everyone, just so that you know. There's available to be register for that showcase event on the Monday, the 16th. My memory serves me right, at the time of 6 p.m. Central Eastern Time. So I would urge you to tune in, because there's going to be the further consolidation announcement made of the DFT component, and that will give you the ability to be able to view the roadmap of how you're going to be able to access DFT allocation, as well as then what that world looks like from a tokenomics perspective, as well as the means of earning additional DFT through that staking mechanism on the validators.
Now, what about the founders packs? How many do we have left? Because
there's a limited supply, just so that we know. We have that sale up until, well, opportunity, put it that way, up until the 15th of October, because of the launch of the showcase event. So there is a time pressure on that, that we have obviously allocated the founders packs to the network. And there is a limited supply leading up to the to the showcase event on the 16th of October.
Now, I know we have different of our many teams that are doing our own private presentations, but Ms. Stark is asking, will there be any type of corporate Zoom that can kind of maybe go over a presentation or the compensation plan, explaining how
I'm happy to do that. I mean, this is the point. I mean, for me, it's really about communicating and more frequently. And this obviously was the kickstart to that. There's been a lot of documentation, a lot of showcase events that we pushed out into the marketplace. And today was one of that, which was just to give clarity on a number of the content sets that we pushed out, the showcase events. So absolutely happy to schedule same time for next week, where then I'll do a presentation on the compensation plan at this particular juncture. So I would agree that I'll push the invite out for Thursday, 4 p.m. Next week, and then I will do one pager again, tying back to the compensation plan. And then I can do a showcase of the back office native application. So happy to do that.
Now here's an interesting question for you, Nicholas, because I asked this question back in December, yes, and I love the answer that you guys gave. I know the answer to this, but Mr. Parker's asking about how is it possible for Vara to be give us so much money in our compensation plan and be profitable and still be able to be in business? Like, where's the money coming from as far as they're saying from that you guys are making money from?
The reality of this is, and Brandon, I mean, the sustainability of the way that we've approached everything is centered around, the product set itself, the efficacy of the product set that we are putting to market, which then brings in other actors into this overall ecosystem, for which we're then facilitating through the network layer, through the ambassador portal. So as we've always purported, we're bringing out the first of the Star Vara Battle Royale, which is tying to a wider audience that is then attracted through the product set, for which then funds the economics of the Vara opportunity. So it is centered around the efficacies of the products and services within this ecosystem that then drive demand of the product first and foremost, for which then adds value. And I think that is the most important thing to get across on that, which is then unlocked through staking rewards, through the access keys, as well as in the utilization of the Vara token within the overall ecosystem.
So in layman's terms, everybody, you networkers, this company's success is not built on how many people we are recruiting. It's based on how many people is buying the product. That doesn't even have to do with recruiting. All the gamers out there are going to be buying the product. Millions of people doing that. But on those same lines, Nick, we've got some old school networkers that have been around for a while, and they're scared that once this company starts having success, yes, that you're going to eliminate the networking side. No. So can you address that?
Short answer, no. That was never the intention, Brandon, and you know that. So I mean, just to clarify that right now and put that to bed, that is not. We're about empowerment. We're about empowering individuals through this opportunity that is Vara, which is then providing a suite of product services that are attracted in their own merit and stand on their own with regards to the revenues that they bring into the ecosystem. And as we've said all along, we provided the network layer or ambassador layer to have the ability to be able to acquire access, early access, pre-access through the access packs, facilitating value in the items within the packs themselves, translated back into be able to sell those back into the ecosystem, whether that's to gamers, networkers, entrepreneurs, and the like that are consuming the various products.
Now, you guys just launched our brand new decentralized wallet app for the founders. They're asking what's the timeline, or you think that it's always going to be updated, that you feel that it should be where it's at, and then when will people who are not founders be able to start getting access to it?
So that a great question, and it is really going to, again, I know I want to leave that for the 16th because there is exciting announcements on that basis. But we're in the near end now, Brandon, which is so exciting. You know, the Battle Royale module that will be added to the native application, as well as then, you know, the ability for us to open this up to everyone within the network was always on the phase 1, phase 2 timeline. We're still on that trajectory. So it's going to be a big moment post the 16th where we can showcase, you know, phase 1, phase 2 approach to unlocking, you know, this utility now that is on your phone.
Now, Stu asked another question, and this is
Stu's on fire today with the questions. I can see that.
About us being able to handle the volume that can come our way that big other games are getting, Fortnite, World of Warcraft, you know, millions and millions of people coming into our ecosystem. Can the system handle it?
100%. That's taking Tom's words of phrase there. And just to stay, I mean, if I go back to our unique value proposition purely just around our technology stack, and we've portrayed this many a time before. Our buy streaming technology allows for us to facilitate a scalable solution that allows for us to offer this at scale, and it is certainly going to be in full force as we launch the Battle Royale Star Vara mobile module into the native application come the 16th of October. So yeah, we will on our way, and we certainly can handle the volume. Everything is in place to do so.
Now, Nicholas, you know, we're starting to grow in different international markets, and some questions that we're getting asked from leaders over there is what they need to do to be able to have you guys do an event either in their country, in their city. How many people would they need to be able to put in front of you guys to be able to make that commitment? And especially in countries like Nigeria, eventually having an office opening up in Nigeria. So what do you think?
I'm not going to plead the fifth on that one. I'll tackle that right off the bat, is that, you know, it's on a use by use cases. We've had an incredible team out of Russian Federation that's put on, you know, a number of events. We've had the same in the Indian market, as well as then locally in our local market. So, you know, Brandon, circulate that opportunity back to myself, and let's evaluate it on the merits of what it would mean for those leaders in those markets to look at that type of opportunity. Yeah.
Now, Amin, I don't know how much you want to talk about this part, about what is the value of the Vara tokens currently?
So this is the point. I mean, for those of you who are founders will then be able to see that valuation at 30 cents. And as you tokenize them in your wallet application, you would then have tokenized that at 30 cents. So for those that information.
Do you have any program for builders to use Dark Fusion in building dApps?
Oh, yeah. Please reach out. We can then facilitate that through our team. Absolutely. Would love to chat to you about that further. Absolutely. And I just see Leonard's asked this question twice now. And Leonard, thank you for that. That was a direct message to me. I'll ping you at the end of this discussion, and we can square that away for you.
Looks like that's all the questions in the chat box.
No problem. Well, I do hope that I was able to at least give the view of all the documentation that we put out, and a high-level view from the one-pager. Please reach out if you do not have that documentation. I'll certainly make it available to everybody. Just last one, Michael. Just on the languages, there is a multi-language translation that has already taken place. I mean, we are catering for as many languages as we possibly can. If there is a specific language that we're lacking from any of the original presentations that I've put forward, I have translated the one pages. I have translated the previous marketing presentations that have been circulating are in the various languages, as well as a compensation plan. So please reach out to me or via your leadership if you don't have the language that you're looking for.
Now, Nicholas, I would love right after the next showcase to do an interview with you guys again, with Greg and Dom. But for the whole team, is there a way we can do another call like this, maybe a couple of days after the launch, and do another Q&A for them? Because they're going to have questions.
Absolutely. The whole intention was for me to kickstart this every Thursday, 4 p.m., so that is recurring. Certainly from a point of the Monday showcase, the intention was for this to be a weekly call to unpack any content that had come out in the presentations or in those showcases. I feel that this is just very helpful to empower everyone with the documentation knowledge. So next week, Thursday, same time, I'll unpack the one page tied to compensation back office. And then the week thereafter will then be, which was intended, to unpack the showcase content.
Hey, Nick, you might want to mute out Aisling Hearts.
See.
So we can hear you clearly. Great. So we're going to be coming back next Thursday, same time.
Next Thursday, same time, which will then be covering compensation plan elements, as well as then the one pager for those that you new, as well as then take you through any functionality that you're unsure of in the native application and the back office.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Cool, guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate everyone's time. Thank you for tuning in. If there is anyone that wants to reach out to me via the leadership, please do so. Happy to send you any of the translations that you're lacking, and obviously the documentation that you've missed, either by the back office or through the other channels.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
Later, guys. Ciao, ciao. Bye.